All right. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you all. I'm going to walk you through some slides to introduce myself and service design. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the Google Doc. And Emily, I think I'll try to pause around 15 minutes so that we have a few minutes for Q&A. Yeah. All right. This is my sixth, seventh week here. I live in the Netherlands with my husband Gerben and two cats, Gwen and Mina. And some of my most recent hobbies, because I have way too many hobbies, are crochet. And very coincidentally, I had this yarn which has like this GitLab themed colors. So I made this poncho for myself in the month in between jobs. I also love to read and gather books and decorate my bookshelf. And sometimes I write and send digital postcards. Um, Before coming to GitLab, I worked at Mendix, which is a leader in the low code area. So it covers all tooling across SDLC. So I see quite some overlaps with GitLab. And I worked there for close to 5 years, missed the anniversary by 2 weeks. And yeah, so I want to share what were some key impact areas as a service designer at Mendix, and then that might give you some ideas on what I bring to the table. So the first one, which maybe resonates with a lot of you, is connecting silos and going towards more holistic journeys. I don't say breaking silos because silos exist for a reason. You need them to function well as an organization and focus. But the key here is to be able to connect them. And it could look like aligning product, marketing, customer success around shared developer and customer onboarding journeys. My last project was around customer onboarding. So I dove pretty deep into that. And also within product, across different product departments, there was a lot of connecting the dots that had to be done, which helped in reducing developer and admin frustration. So these were our key users, developers, and admins. So yeah, might sound a bit familiar with GitLab as well. Ad hoc alignment processes to a systematic collaboration frameworks. I feel that service design toolset can be used in ensuring that product managers, designers are working together in going from strategy to concepts. And for this, I created a lot of workshop templates, ran some workshops, trained people on how to run workshops so that I could eliminate myself as a bottleneck and that they didn't have to rely on me for running such workshops, to the extent that I was no longer running workshops in my last couple of years, except like I was really missing them. So that's a nice sign. And the third one relates to the first one, which is going from like different teams and different languages to a shared understanding. For example, if you ask anyone in sales who's a customer or what is onboarding, their definition differs a lot from asking someone in product, for example, or even in customer success, because all of their starting moments and touch points are different. So this led to internal confusion and lack of alignment, and building these kinds of shared understandings through definitions, workshops was quite helpful. And I also partnered a lot with a customer success team on site to ensure product adoption, because we were releasing a lot of products, but sometimes they wouldn't realize what is coming, how can they present it to their customer. So supporting them in making sure that the right features can be brought to their customers. So looking into overview of service design, I could go on this section for a lot of time, but I'm going to try it to keep it simple for today. It might feel vague, but please drop questions so that I can create better content in a handbook page. So what is service design? This image is one of my favorites. It shows like if you're in a play as an audience, you see the front stage where you see what the actors are doing, and there's a lot of things that are happening backstage, like sound and lighting. But there's even more things that happen behind the scenes, like making sure that things are ordered, there's a ticketing system in place. So a service design helps us to see this whole end-to-end process. What are the different touch points, the teams and systems, and often helps in finding where are those friction points where things are falling in between the cracks, what are our key opportunities, bottlenecks. And as you can imagine, this relies on collaboration with a lot of different disciplines. And yeah, I want to work in a very collaborative way as well. So this is also me reaching out to you and saying that I'll be in touch, but also feel free to reach out from your side. I try to create a GitLab specific example of a journey that we can understand using service design mindset. This is quite a broad journey, so you can go multiple levels deeper. But imagine someone who hears about GitLab, they are trying the product, and then eventually they want to convince their organization to become a GitLab customer and then adopting it in their org-wide tech stack. So this seems like a very high-level customer journey. And if you think of the touch points and the teams within GitLab, you can see that it almost touches the entire company. You could hear about GitLab at a conference, probably through your DevRel team, and then you try the product. That's all within product. And then the convincing part happens with a lot of internal meetings where none of us are there. They're discussing within their teams, and sometimes sales might be present. And also for adoption and renewal, can go through meetings, some digital and some physical touch points with customer success. So, from what I've heard by speaking with some of the people here, is often when people are going from one step to the other, if it's across teams, there are things that are falling in between the cracks, leading to friction, not having a clear overview of what other teams might be doing. So, if you apply service design mindset and try to map the as is process, that can help you as product designers, UX researchers to understand the context better, and UX writers, technical writers. So, my take on service design is rather than focusing a lot on service design terminology because that can alienate people, I would like to look at what is the value it brings. So, if I'm using terms that are not familiar, please let me know because that's not the goal here. So I like to look at it from a perspective of three pillars. The first one is we can use service design to map the terrain, find the boundaries and gaps, like I mentioned in the previous example, so that you have a holistic view, almost like Google Maps zoomed out view. Then you create the space for reflecting and understanding what are some opportunities, where can we further explore solutions, and this could also be in the form of experience visions that was discussed in the UX All Hands, and envisioning those future scenarios, tech advancements. So this could be in the form of like running design sprints and creating prototypes. So how can you partner with service design? Right now, it's me. So I have some practical examples of collaboration with product design, product management, and UX research. I've put them in the appendix section because it's a lot of text, but I want to give an overview of what this might look like. So I've used a generic triple diamond for the product development flow to illustrate some examples. So, for example, at the start of any project, collaborating with different disciplines to uncover what are our assumptions, what are those unknowns, and prioritizing those hypotheses so that we can focus on the right topic. This can happen with different disciplines because this is important for designers, product managers, and research as well. An example of collaboration with UX research would be to synthesize insights and existing information to understand the as is scenario and crafting the to be scenario. And this could be also in the form of visual artifacts, which can help us understand the context better. And also for using them with our stakeholders to communicate better so that everyone understands the picture in a concise way. Another example with product designers could be to spar on concepts, prototypes, and further find some methods on how we can validate those concepts. And an example with product managers, and all of these are based on my previous experience, so I can go deeper if any of them seem exciting for you, is to make sure that we are managing change effectively within the organization, helping them with product launch, and making sure that users know that these new features are released, and also giving them input for how to drive adoption. And almost at the end. Next steps for me at GitLab, I want to look at my work in these three pillars, at least in the beginning phase. So first and most important is to focus on the platform experience. And here I will be working with growth to map trial experience. So that's the first part I scope together with Emily to have a full picture view of what are the key value moments for different types of users as they go from signing up till making their first purchase, and to look at what are the different touch points, what's going on here, and based on that to contribute to strategy and spar with the designers on design concepts. The second one, which I'm very happy about, is there's already great foundations here with service design mindset that I experienced in my interview process and also with coffee chats. So to further empower all the different disciplines on how you can adopt service design mindset, I plan to do this by building a service design handbook page and also possibly offering walk-in office hours. So we'll figure that out. And the third one is cross-functional collaboration. So as you heard, if we want to look at our user's journey holistically, it goes beyond product. So establishing connection with different disciplines such as customer success, sales in the context of growth, and ensure that we can reuse their existing foundations and definitions to be able to align with them. I am very excited to be here as the first service designer at GitLab. When I shared this at my previous organization, quite a few of my colleagues were surprised that GitLab didn't have service design yet. So that's a positive sign for the good foundations at place here. For those of you who like to read, in my README, I have a bunch of links around intro to service design. I have linked a podcast, also some videos. Please choose whatever format you prefer. And if you would rather just have a coffee chat with me and want to spar on some ideas, please send me a message on Slack, or you can also book some time with me with calendar. Yeah, that's about it. And just give you a quick overview of what I've included in the appendix that you can go through, how I intend to work, very high level, and some examples for product design, product management, and UX research. So I will stop here and let me quickly look at the meeting notes.
Looks like there's not currently any questions. Does anyone want to vocalize a question? I could type.
Why did I raise my hand?
It happens. I usually get a thumbs up randomly, but that's always good. Uh, I have a not question. I really like that. First of all, you're here, and being the first service designer um, um, has its own challenges, and I'm really liking how you are approaching it so far. Uh, Establishing your own understanding about the company while helping others understand more about service design, about you, about the handbook page that you're going to write about. What will be the tagline for it? Like service design.
Let's spar on that together. So I'll see what comes up, because as a team of one at this point, I think it's also really important for me to manage expectations, and I would rather under promise and over deliver than the other way around.
There are three things that I've seen in your slide that really I really like. Uh, Service design, connecting silos. I like that you are going for connecting, not breaking, uh, aligning strategies and delivering values. I think service designers out for a long time we've been seen as the disruptors that brings change, but I think you've highlighted really well. It's all very positive change, and it's all for a reason. So thank you.
Thank you. And credit for the shift from breaking to connecting goes to my partner. He does not work in tech, he works with the municipality. And when I shared that in my bio a while ago. He's like, this doesn't resonate. And yeah, so I'm really happy that you can get inspiration sometimes from totally different disciplines. All right. Thanks, Chad, for your nice comment. I think you were the first person I had a coffee chat with, so really nice to hear this, and also for your message on Slack right after our chat, giving me some guidelines on how to approach more of the UX team. So thanks.
One last call for questions.
Yeah, I'll ask a question. Hi, Bindu. I'm Becca. I'll set up a coffee chat. But curious, I see that you're working with growth initially. Is that where you see like the most collaboration opportunity is with the growth team, or do you see yourself spanning like every group and stage? Curious like how you'll work with all of the different teams.
Jessica, do you want to jump in for this?
Yes. So I think over time, a lot of the practices that Bindu is introducing will hopefully expand throughout the organization as she's able to free up capacity as she moves through different stages and experiences. Growth felt like a really good place to start given our company objectives and kind of trying to ease that onboarding experience. And it really aligns well with Bindu's background as well. So that seemed like a natural starting point. But in her role as well, she's going to kind of, level up and look holistically and have a more connected view of what the experience is and not be considering what's happening downstream or where there are overlaps and building her knowledge of the product over time. So I'm consistently impressed by the amount of knowledge Bindu has already gathered about GitLab in her brief time here. And I'm really excited to see what she comes up with. She gets a little deeper into the work.
Yeah, and it looks like it would be like multiple personas considered. It's the buyer persona, but also like the user persona, and a little bit of everybody that would be interested in like different parts of the product.
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely. We were just discussing this yesterday. We've got the initial joiners coming into the product, and then we've got introducing it to their company, and then we have the others who are taking seats, and we need them to adopt as well. So there's a lot of opportunity, and I think defining manageable scope and where to start is probably the first hurdle we have to get over, and then she can start running a little bit.
Yeah, I know that like this whole process is a little bit of like a blind spot for me in the sec section. So if anything related to sec comes out of it, I'll be looking closely at any kind of findings that you can share with us. But excited to have you. Thanks.
Thank you so much, and look forward to the coffee chat.
Awesome. It looks like that's it for questions. Thank you so much, Bindu.